Are going live because why not? It's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy week. And I figured I would go ahead and just get on here and just do a regular live where people can ask questions. We can have a conversation and just see how everybody's doing. I know it's kind of crazy to do live on a Saturday night, but realistically, it's been a crazy week. Energies are about to go crazy next week. We've got a full moon coming up, which, if I remember right, it's a super moon. And then we've got a lot of planets going into retrograde next week. So it's probably a good time to really get communication in and have those conversations, you know what I mean? So hopefully you all are doing well. Hopefully your weekend is going well as as opposed to not going well. I am currently getting over getting sun because it was a crazy day trying to fix the car, not getting the car fixed, and then getting a bunch of stuff too. Plus, I figured that, just kind of give you guys an update on some things as well that are not like tarot reading stuff and just kind of make it fun for all. And who knows, maybe even the hubby will jump in with conversation and it'll just kind of be like a chit chat. That's what I get. It is kind of late, and it is not my normal time to get on. So we'll see how it goes. If we don't get any money, oh well, I'll just be rambling on. So one of the things that I do want to talk about, because I think I'm going to use this kind of as like a newsletter as well, because realistically, we're coming up to June, so it makes sense to do a newsletter. So as you guys know, we've been doing the garden. The garden is doing very well. Monday, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do a garden tour video. So that way you guys can see the progression of it. And then the following week, that's when I'm going to put out the energy working video. Hey, hon, how are you doing? Hey, Pike. So once we get done with the garden tour and all that, which, by the way, I got a bunch of different seeds, too, that I'm going to be starting. So that way, all through harvest season, I guess it would be considered harvest season, all through the season of planting and all that fun jazz, we can have different harvests throughout the year. Now, the last time I talked to everybody during a live, I believe it was during a tarot, where we were talking about, trying to find an organization or a place that where part of the vegetables are going to go to because, it's part of the community thing, right? So I did reach out to, what was it, The Happening or, no, it's not The Happening. What is it called? The Gathering, The Happening. Yeah, that's pretty close, right? So I did reach out to them. Next week, I'm going to actually reach out to the lady who does like all the, receiving stuff and things like that. So one of the things that we're going to do is give them most of the food, and then the rest, if anybody comes by, if anybody messages us saying, hey, I'm hungry, I don't have food, we will give them part of the garden as well. And then as we get closer to Laglamas, whatever you want to call it, that's when we're going to start doing, clothing drives as well. I thought about doing them during the summer, but I'm like, with the garden, that's been so much as it is. So then, once we get to that stage, then we can get our winter projects and all that fun jazz. And you guys know how it goes. Let's see what else is on the agenda. So next month, we are going to try to have a few gatherings for like our camping, because every year we pay for spots for camping, have pagans come out and all that. So right now we're still working on the date for June for those who are in Ohio, which, by the way, anybody who comes to these camping events, it's totally free for them. The only thing they have to bring is like maybe a dish to share for the night, a drink of their choosing, and camping equipment, you know what I mean? We do got a couple extra tents, since I did have to buy a couple new tents this year, because, with me, the hubby, and the doggies, and all that fun jazz, plus, the girls, we wanted to create a little bit more space, so that way we can take those other tents that we were using from previous years, and if somebody wants to come but doesn't have the equipment, then they have it there. So that's a work in progress. The Covenant and me are going to be meeting up close to the end of the month, or I believe in the beginning of June. So we're going to be putting that out there. Now we are limiting them. We ain't doing the big witch in the woods this year for this reason. We're still dealing with COVID. We're still dealing with people trying to get their vaccinations and things like that. To me, it does seem a little irresponsible to have a huge ass event, right? So we're doing the mini little camp outs. We're going to have 10 people per little camp that we're doing. Been a long day. I need to shop. Me and you both, baby. So we got that going on as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Also, July is when we're going to start the process to try to get the other land. So that way we can expand the garden next year. Fingers crossed it all works out, because we got to put in the application fee. Then we have to go to the council with what our plans is for the land. And I'm also going to take some before pictures with us and after pictures of the outside that we've been doing. Because I figured if they see the progress we've done with our land, then when we get that land, it'll kind of, help the case of like, hey, this is what we want to do. We take care of our property. We take care of all of our finances. Here's all that. So it should work out in the good. So that will be starting in July, probably about mid-July. Hey, C Cookie, how you doing, baby? So yeah, it's been a busy day.
Sure has. I'm wore out.
And then yesterday, for a little bit, we lost power. It's just, ugh. Aries here. Welcome, my dear. So currently right now, that's what I've got going on. The website is always progress, you know what I mean? Normally I'll sit here and I'll make a list of things I need to talk about. That's when I do the video uploads of like newsletter. But since I'm just going off the cuff, it's going to be things here and there I'm going to talk to you guys about. Is there anything I'm missing? We've got the mini camp outs. We've got the gardening going on, working with the gathering. Which, by the way, if you guys want to look up what the gathering is here in Middletown, if you look it up on web, you can even donate. So if that's something that you want to do, they help a lot of the homeless around here. They use spiritual leaders to help, give these people, some insight, because, spirituality and recovery go hand in hand. So I'm pretty excited about it. Oh man, it feels like I'm just rambling, but I'm not rambling, but I am. You know what I mean? Speaking of things that need to be done, I have dry skin, so I'm going to put a little bit of this on. So what is going on in the lives of you beautiful people? 420 camp out, right? Some people do it, but we do ask that if you're going to partake in that sort of thing, because we are kid friendly, you know what I mean? Hey, Coco, baby. So we do ask people, if you want to smoke or anything like that, just move away from the campsite. That way you're respecting each person that's there, because you never know what a person's journey is and things like that. That's why, like, if we ever do rituals and we're doing a group campsite, which right now it doesn't look like any of them are going to be open at this moment. So that's another reason why we're not doing Witch in the Woods, because normally we buy the group campsite because it's a lot bigger, a lot more private. But like, let's say, for instance, someone comes to one of our things and they reach out and they're like, hey, I'm in recovery because I'm an ex-alcoholic. Is there going to be alcohol there? Then we will customize that ritual to where we don't bring that. And if somebody does bring that, we do ask them to keep it in their tent. That way we can respect other people. Now, it does seem like a lot of push and shove, but we want to respect people's past along with bringing them in. So that's kind of like what we've done from the beginning, because recovery is the thing, you know what I mean? But yeah. For the most part, people appreciate it. Some people are like, oh, but that ain't going to make me do this or that. Well, it's not about that. It's about respecting each person's journey as much as we possibly can. Which, as of late, I pulled out of a lot of side projects I was doing for other people, so I could focus on the Divine Witch, helping out other people. And I'm looking to immerse myself this year, which is why I'm going to only do like one, maybe camp out each month, into other communities to see what we can do to help them as well. There's a mural that they are currently trying to move, because last year, with the whole protests and things, a few of our friends from another organization did a beautiful mural. Unfortunately, some people this year thought it was fun to basically graffiti it up. So I'm going to ask them what do they need us to do. Plus, they also work with like the younger youth and things like that. So it kind of allows us to help them and give them a worldview of pagans other than what they may have heard. But yeah. So what are you guys doing tonight? Are you enjoying yourself?
I am.
Are you?
Yeah, it feels good to relax.
I know it's been a long day. Oh, I'm telling you. Which, by the way, it sounds fun. It is fun. It's just a lot of work. You know what I mean? Now, one thing that I have been waiting on is another thing I can talk about because many of you guys know that like down from my house is a park, right? And my neighborhood is not like an all white neighborhood. My neighborhood is mixed with many different cultures and many different people. So the city has decided that they are going to be revamping certain parks and things like that. I did reach out to them because one of the parks that they have not listed is the one in my neighborhood, which I think is something that needs to happen. Just for the reason being the equipment is old. There's not really a lot of use being used in that park where it could be, you know what I mean? Like having shelters to where this community in this area could actually be using that instead of it just, being not good. You know what I mean? I know you guys have seen it before with other parks where they kind of neglect it a little bit just because like it's not in a real busy area where maybe it doesn't get a lot of traffic from other people. It's more of a neighborhood thing. So we're still waiting to hear back from that because they did have a thing like, hey, if this park isn't on our list, were you willing to help with this park if we did have the funds for this park? So I did sign up for that. The hubby signed up for that because literally I could walk there within like 2 or 3 minutes. Plus it gives these kids around here something to do, some entertainment instead of it just being craziness. You know what I mean? So I'm really do hoping that works out. But I also want to get a hold of the ones who are doing the mural along with Tony. Tony actually created a program called Rise Above. I don't even know if that's the name still because I know he's been changing the name here and there to kind of get the perfect fit. But he works with like the kids that normal school systems don't work for them. You know what I mean? They would be the ones that people would normally consider troubled youth. And works with them to do like cookouts and board games, you know what I mean? Like chess to get their mind going, you know what I mean? And it's kids of all different races, all different ages. So I want to try to get them two together along with our community and maybe have like a big cookout down there, kind of bring in the community that's around here as well to kind of help them on what their missions are and maybe kind of get the city pushing towards restoration for, kids in this area. So it's a hope. It's going to take some time. But worst comes to worst, if I have to go to a city meeting and call an Uber one night, well, I guess I'm going to have to do that. And they're just going to love me because I'm full of ideas and inspiration. Speaking of the city, now a couple of years ago, you guys know that we did the Dagdas Cauldron with a few other covens around, or groups, I should say, not covens. And it was basically to help, with the homeless, making sure they got food and stuff like that. Well, most recently, the town had decided that they are going to get security for downtown to protect some of the business owners. Because realistically, not everyone's this way, but some people are where they want to cause chaos or hurt a business or by any means. So they're going to have resources for them as well. So I'm going to reach out to the city Monday to see what their list of resources is that they are coming up with that aren't being put out there just yet. That way I can get those, get the ones from the gathering and the other few projects that are going around in the city just to kind of help connect people, you know what I mean, as much as I can. Because networking is one of the things, But yeah, it's a process, my dears. And then I think this winter, I want to do like a Stitch and Bitch event where we can all get together. People can like knit and all that stuff, like scarves or gloves or hats, and then do the lamppost thing where you put them all around the city. You know what I mean? I wish I lived closer. I wish you did too, Cookie. I would so bug the shit out of you. Like, you think you would be free. Oh, no. Deb, you're up late. It's Saturday. Good to see you. I am, my dear. I decided to get on here and talk to everybody, kind of give them a clue what's going on as far as, like, you know, someone knit me a voodoo doll. Actually, they're pretty easy. And normally, well, depending, I guess it depends on what faith you go in, they're called puppets. Or puppets. It really depends on what area you're in. Oh, so how are you doing tonight, Crystal, my dear? Anything good happening? I know. I wish I was closer too. Well, you know, you guys help out as much as you can, you know what I mean? And like, this is how I see it. Even though you guys are far away, I get to connect with you. I get to know you guys, and maybe you give me an idea that I can try to do here in the community. You know what I mean? Or if I'm ever on a road trip, I go, hey, I'm in your area. Let's hang out.
Right.
And we do some witchy shit and get drunk.
That's right.
Wanted to come back and testify about our last week's reading on time, and you were correct. It all happened just as predicted, the exact day and everything. Well, I'm glad, baby, and thank you. I always appreciate, honestly, if you would, give me a second, let me pull it up, because it always does help. And I ask people to do this, but some people forget, or it just doesn't work. Normally, I do, like, my readings under a different name, Triple Moon Readings. So, if you would be so kind to, if you ever got a reading on me, you think it was good, just go ahead and leave me a review. It just helps a little bit here and there. Traveling Gypsy, wouldn't that be fun? Like the cute little homes. But the thing about me is I hate being crammed in tight spaces. If anyone needs a read on timing, your girl is right here for real. I appreciate it, baby. I try. Like I say, readings can always come and go. Going to take more than a road trip to get there. I know. You're going to have to sail the seven seas, fight the Kraken.
The Kraken. That's hilarious.
And then swoop in with your spiders of doom. God, the spiders there.
Spiders of doom.
Hubby keeps on saying, you know, we're going to have to go there one day. I was like, I know, but I don't want to commit to the spiders. Maybe we can have like a middle ground where we meet. You know what I mean? Somewhere not too hot, not too cold, but kind of perfect in between. Oh. I know for the last couple of days, like last night was real bad, and I'm not even going to lie to you guys, because you know one of the things I talk about on this channel is like mental health and like, you know, trying to keep away from depression and shit like that. And last night it was hard as hell. It's not like anything's bad going on. It just seems stressful sometimes. And you ever have those moments where your inspiration to do anything in life is just zero? Yeah, that was kind of me. And I'm like, why do I even do this? And I'm like, and then the other side of me is like, yo, girl, no, we ain't doing this. And luckily I got some sleep, and here I am, happy-go-lucky, vitamin D, both kinds. And it's been good. The spiders are huggers here. Those spiders are straight out of an alien movie. Like even Sigourney Weaver was like, fuck them spiders. The Kraken boots F's me up. Exactly. Did you book your flight to Fort Lauderdale?
No.
I wasn't planning to go to Fort Lauderdale. I don't know who that was, but hopefully they did. Fort Lauderdale. I mean, that would probably be a place to go. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've never been there.
Having a moment of discouragement just hit me too, Shorty. Shortly ago. I thought you called me Shorty. I was like, damn, we're homies now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like last night, I don't know what it was. It was just like a dark cloud around me. You remember in the cartoons, they had a little dark cloud and it would just be raining on them? I'm like, not today. No, it just comes and goes sometimes like that, and you just kind of got to reassess it and be like, not today. But then again, for the last week, I've kind of been inside and I haven't been outside, and lack of vitamin D really does me no good. Apparently. Or at least that's what I'm blaming it on. It may not be that, but who knows? Here, nobody knows. But I'm telling you what, guys, when you see this garden update, you're going to be like, damn. Because I was showing Cookie earlier, and she's like, oh my God, it grew. I was like, I know.
It's so good.
And then we got a tiller someone donated. So thank you for that tiller. That helps. Because if you didn't know, you're about to know. That whole garden that you've seen in the beginning has been us doing it by hand, like getting the sod out of the way and then sitting there with one of those little rakies and going like this.
It was a pain. But it was.
And like, it's fun. Or at least that's what I told everybody. But realistically, it sucked. Because you're sitting here just doing this and you're like, oh, it's hot, it's boring. Oh my God, there's dirt under my nails. I don't like things underneath my nails, so it kind of got to me a little bit, but you know, I'll survive. And this poor guy, one day he had the big shovel and he's like frogging it, like kicking it, laying on his back, and it looks like he's trying to row. It was crazy.
I did it.
You did do it. Plus, I've learned way a lot about plants. Way a lot.
It's been.
Yeah, it's been.
I think we both have, because we've been growing like flowers and everything.
Plus, I've learned how to make bone meal, which is the simplest thing to make for your plants, and is really good for it. Cracking booze. So, you know, you learn some things, you grow a little bit, and you move on. So, what's everybody doing in their spiritual journey? Is everything going good? You got any plans for the moon coming up? We'll talk about you instead of me. Just casting towards prosperity. Thankfully, it is bright and organizing my hope. Ooh, that reminds me, speaking of hope, will you bring me them flowers that I dried? And a vial. A little glass vial. A little glass vial. I've actually got some that have pretty little tops on them right above my altar.
You do?
Yep.
You do. I mean,
Ooh, we have a surprise Sunday visitors. I'll catch up with you later, lovely. Not a problem. Good luck with those who show up. So today, I was talking to someone who got some spell work for me. Yeah.
And this one got nice little stone on there.
This is actually perfect.
Does it only need one? You only need one?
No, that'll work too.
Okay.
Because the flowers that I got in there are for spell work. So I dried out some herbs, but I got somebody who's trying to get, like, you know, some success going on in their life. Which, by the way, dried herbs. I can't wait for the sun. I'm too impatient. Oh, one of them, like, dried to it. So, can I get my little smash? They are. So I went through and I pruned some of our herbs that I needed for the spell work. No. My, like, one over there. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
So that way I could do it. But, you know, I need to get some more jars so that way I can actually put my dried herbs and stuff into. Because your dried herbs, especially flower, like petals like this, they're really great for, you know, either burning in a charcoal burner, or even as far as just spell work in general, you know what I mean? And I used to hang my herbs to dry them. But then I got impatient and I got more stuff to do. And I'm like, what? I love dressing candles for workings. I know, right? And I've got a 7-day candle that I got going on. Well, not right now, but tomorrow I will. because this is some like heavy duty, super secret SOTY mission kind of spell work. You know what I mean? I can't help it. So back in the day when we used to live in an apartment, there used to be like a family doctor that was right beside our apartment complex, right? So we would always go over to the soda machine over there. And whenever we would go get soda from there, we'd always say it's a super secret SOTY mission. So if you ever hear me say that, that's exactly why. Those were fun times. If you ever get in an apartment complex with like a bunch of friends, it's so much fun. Don't live in the same house though, because then they get on your nerves. But
they all used the secret soda machine.
Everybody did. Dude, we would break into each other's houses. It sounds illegal. It really is.
It sounds illegal.
But, well, I think about it as I say it, and I'm like, oh, we break into people's houses. No, we broke into people we knew, who we were good standing in. And, like, I'll never forget the time this one girl, we flipped her whole apartment upside down out of love. Like pictures, everything decorated, her tree and panties and bras and the whole 9 yards. And then I took off, I like unscrewed all of her doorknobs just to mess with her. By the way, we did go back there and we did fix them and we did help her out. Like, we're not those douchebags that's like, good luck.
Yeah.
But we're all sitting out and we're watching her just go up the stairs and like, she's like looking around like, why isn't everybody outside in the middle? That's so hilarious. And then she's like, what the hell?
We're all on hardware.
I know, it was hilarious. Oh, good times, man. Good times. Always remember, take the moments in life, and if you get the chance to have fuckery fun, have some fuckery fun.
Right.
Life is too short to be sitting there going, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? This, for some reason, like some of these are going to crumble up pretty perfect. Some of them are not. So we'll have to work it out. But sometimes it's just good to crush stuff in your hands. Can you move that fan away just a little bit? I got some blowback coming over here, and I'm like, I got crushed herbs, and I don't want to get it in my eye.
Oh, dude.
Do. Which, me personally, I've got a cauldron outside. It's like one of those aluminum cauldrons that you can hang stuff with. And most of the time, I give Persephone my, like, clippings from, like, plants and stuff like that, just as an offering. But today, I needed some stuff, so she only got half of what she normally gets. Wish I had one. Wish you had one what, baby? Like a little cauldron? I can't remember where I got them, but I know it was like dirt cheap. I think it was only like $5 and something for them. I even made candles out of them, which it'll help hold the candles and stuff. But I was using them chip dyes, which, by the way, don't do it. Go for the liquid. If you're going to do candles, go for the liquid every time. But it is. Like, it just makes life easier when you use the liquid. Cauldron, but I'm closet here. Well, the good thing is you could make it look like a planner. And then in the beginning of the year, just plant like your intentions. Make it like a old cottage style decor, depending on what it is, you know what I mean? Besides, cauldrons were used for like burning things and like incense, and better for the environment. Like, it just really depends on who you're around and what you're around. Hey, speaking of being around things, see, down that cute. I need an incense to jab this down.
Jab it. Oh, let's see what we got here.
I stole a bit of his cereal.
How about a matchstick?
That'll work.
Okay. Here you go. Matchstick.
I didn't steal a bite of your cereal.
I don't care.
Okay.
The store didn't give me my cereal today.
Yeah, that was weird. Not having cereal whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it was like Cocoa Poofs. I call them Poofs. instead of puffs. I'm weird. But
This tastes weird.
does it?
I have like a burnt flavor.
I think they all do. Golden grams are weird like that. I will look into it. Yeah. You can even look at like, I don't know if they do it anymore, but Thomas Kincaid, which is like, I normally call it like the granny, like decor, but they do have some really cool stuff that you can get. And sometimes they will have like them cottage style little cauldrons you can use, you know what I mean? But if you can't use a cauldron because your closet wet's right, another thing that you could use is like a fire safe bowl, just a fire pit. Or if you're lucky and you got gas, you could just try to burn them on there. I mean, it's going to be a pain in the ass when you are literally cleaning it, but you know. Look how pretty that looks. I wish I could have got more red rose petals, but it was only white. So this is going to be for the protection portion. But not this part because these, well, this one I might use for her because I can add some crystals and stuff to it. Hey, speaking of crystals, will you bring me
Crystals.
Yeah, the little baby ones, the crushed ones. And I can put them in here with the oil and the fun stuff like that. And all that good jazz. And I also need some of those rock pebbles from outside, if you would, sir. Little glass vial. A little glass vial.
Where's your stuff?
Look on Hades. So last shelf.
Yeah, what kind do you want?
I don't know.
Well, I'll just do this then.
That works. See? Little crushed ones. All right, so we're wanting love, so a little bit of rose quartz. Quartz will go a long way. Maybe. Sometimes these shards take forever to get out. But it is all right. The pipes are calling. I need to travel this week. My family is too so religious. I'm going to lose my mind. Thinking about buying a tarot deck. Do you think that's a bad idea? I don't think so. I think if it's something that you want to learn, go for it. But if you're trying to hide it from people, you might have issues, depending if you got nosy roommates, you know what I mean, or whatever. So, I mean, kind of depends on what calls to you. Like, I would start out with an oracle deck. It's a lot easier. Just as a start out, like, you can always buy a regular deck of playing cards and use them as tarot, especially when you're around people that you don't want to know that you're into tarot. But not everybody likes it because, you know, it's just playing cards. But you can dedicate them without people knowing, you know what I mean? All right, Hecate, which one do I need to bring? One for me, please. One for what, my dear? Right now, I'm prepping spell work for tomorrow while having chit chats. I'm practicing, but I need something to help me keep my sanity when it go. Right, I totally get it. You know, you can do also rock reading, clouds, you can do tarot reading and stuff like that. I am not doing cards tonight, my dear. That if I do cards, you'll always see a tarot card. Right now, it's just chit chat, doing some magic stuff, all that fun jazz. Sorry, my dear. Dad. A little bit of you does not hurt. Like when she asked for if I carry my crystal, surely my dad would ask Why are you carrying rocks? Tell them that you want to start a new hobby and you want to do wire wrapping. There you go. Where there's a will, my dear, there's always a way. Because right now, crystals are in fashion-wise. So anybody going, why would you need that? Well, you know, I want to be fashionable. And you could make your own jewelry and stuff like that. And no one would ever really know, you know what I mean? My dear, when you get a chance, I need a little bit of salt.
Salt.
Salt, salt, baby. So we can purify. Ooh, and cinnamon. I need cinnamon for luck, please. Sorry. Love you.
Let's see what we got.
Cinnamon and sea salt, my dear. We are cleansing the area. We are bringing in the spirits. And cinnamon always has that boost of good luck.
Right. 2.
Thank you, my dear. You know, I can't remember what country it is, where they just throw cinnamon at you and cover you in it. Like if you don't get married or something like that at a certain point. Oh, shit, that's too much.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of luck. At a certain point, they throw cinnamon on you until you get married. I just can't remember what culture it is. But I remember reading about it and going, man, that would have to suck. And the first thing that came to my mind is the cinnamon challenge.
That's stupid.
I love the smell of cinnamon. I think tomorrow for breakfast for the kids, I'm going to make cinnamon toast.
Toast.
By the way, for anybody coming in tonight, I am doing a little bit of spell work prep and all that fun jazz. We're just chilling and talking and all that good stuff that you do when you're witchy. And you know what? Clap your hands. I know somebody out there clapped their hands.
Yeah.
I did in my mind. Hopefully that counts. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Also, another good thing that you can do when you're doing spell work, especially if you got a certain outcome that you're looking for, find a song that resonates with the spell work you're doing. And you can use that harmony, especially if you're like me and you like to sing, even though sometimes it's like a little bit rough. And you can use that as a way to infuse your energy into your spell work and put the manifestation in it. Oh, look at that. Isn't it pretty? Oh,
Log cinnamon.
yes, do that too. There is a lot of cinnamon, but we're trying to get rid of a lot of the negative energy. That's why we got some salt in there too. Another thing that you can do, especially if you're trying to hide spell work. Have you guys ever seen those like little jars that they sell at like, what is it called? Like souvenir shops and stuff where they do the little bottles with the different colored sand. Do you know you can use the same shit? I got excited. I got a lemon pepper. I got lemon pepper. Oh, yay. Lemon pepper. 2 birds and 1 stone. Will you please get that because it's going to break my nails. Anyway, those little sand things that you can get like gift shops and stuff like that. You can use sand magic.
What you want?
Yeah, I want you to close it completely. That's what I'm asking for. Listen to the words.
All I heard was, can you get that? I'm going to break it now.
Yeah.
Not close or anything like that.
But you can get different sand to correlate with what energies you want to put in. You can even put in some like dry herbs in between the sand and make it as a gift for somebody. Get like little pendulums like that and actually put it on the outside and just sell it. And then when they ask you what it's for, be like, it's like for good luck and, you know, whatever. Or it's just a decoration piece if you don't really want somebody to know what it is. Do, 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 do. Trying to add back a little bit of color. A little bit of purification into her life because that's what we're doing tonight. And then I'm going to let this set under the moon light. Packing it up, packing it up. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Yeah.
See, and then it starts looking pretty like that. See? Got all the crystals and all that fun jazz on it. Should think twice about witches. Should think twice about witches ladder. Haven't made one in forever. Those are fun. And plus, you know, you can add whatever you want to it. Like some people use bells or like certain color beads and stuff. If you're working with Hecate, you can even incorporate keys into it as well. Me, I haven't made one yet, but I did have one that was made for me. Like they made it in my house. I watched them make it, watched them put in their intentions and stuff like that. And I still hold on to it. I need keys. I would go if you can. I don't know what like financially your situation and stuff like that is, but you can go on to eBay and get like a shit ton of old keys. You can use keys for like any of your magic, to lock mirrors, to bring in opportunities, like a whole schnitz and caboodle. You know what I mean? Yes, I just said snitch and caboodle.
Snitchy caboodle. I was wondering where those went.
What? Snitch and caboodle?
You know, that pack and lighter over there.
Oh. Well, yeah. Look, like, I can't get over that. If I can show it with it. Line up. Don't be a glare. Like, it's pretty. Look at that. You got the red crushed underneath. Ugh.
Ugh.
Arts and crafts time, y'all. Do, 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 do. All the people who come here for tarot are like, okay, this video is a little odd. What's this?
Craziness.
And it's like, Alexa, play Stevie Nicks.
Shuffling songs by Stevie Nicks on Amazon Music.
Oh, so pretty. All right, Hubster. I hope you're prepared to go the distance with this. Will you do me a favor and put that on my altar? Because I'm about to put the candle wax all over this. So here a couple days ago, we talked about how to protect yourself from arching. Do you remember? Alexa, turn down by 2. What exactly are you looking for, sweetheart? Because I'm not sure what you mean by arching. Goddess, I could say, I call to you. Seal the work. Attachment. Yes, I do remember. If you're trying to get rid of an attachment, you're going to need to cleanse. You're going to need to banish. Banishment always before cleansing. The song is significant. Always, baby. There's always a reason to the madness. You all right?
Yes.
Freakiest events just happened not too long ago, last night as well. What happened, my dear? If you want to share it with the rest of the class, of course. Doesn't it look so pretty? I love doing wax drip over jars. I would, well, I could show you guys, but you know.
Yeah.
It just takes time, and I'm just not willing to take that time right now. Oh, so pretty. And this is going to go in between the two 7-day candles I got. Because this right here is a direct representation of the individual I'm doing work for. I suddenly felt very ill. I felt like I was going to die. My spirits and my body felt pale. I heard voices, 2 of them, which I'm positive was Bianca and my other friend begging me to hang in there. Dang, girl. Girl. Well, you know what I mean. Everybody's a girl in this day and age, in some sense. But dang, baby. Did you figure out what caused it, or you just feel like you were being, like, psychically attacked? Sorry if I'm not, like, giving due diligence to your conversation. I had a woman attached to my energy. She claimed she was Wiccan. If you feel like someone's attached to you, I would say cleanse, but banish first, cleanse next. And if you feel like you've got an attachment on you and it's still not going away, then you need a little bit more in-depth work. Because it also depends on the entity in which it's placed upon you. That's why all spell work is not created equal, nor should it be treated like the same. Hey, Haley, baby. Maybe I can show a little bit of this. That way she can see some of the work I'm doing for her. That's currently what I'm working with. I'm going to get that out there so we get no guidelines and stuff like that. But this is going to help me tomorrow. For a private reading, baby, it just depends on how long you want to go. I've got an hour for 60, a half an hour for 30, baby. If you want something longer than that, or if you're wanting like past ancestral work, I do charge a little bit extra, but not by much. I understood English, but not what, baby? Have a good night. See you later. Bye, honey. I hope you have a good night as well, sweetheart. So it just really depends on what you're wanting, honey. But I do got times open for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday are all booked up. So it just really depends on what you're wanting. Tony, honey, I'm not understanding what you're asking, sweetheart. The word metamorphosis kept coming up so many times. I kept shaking my body and soul. Well, we did say you got some growth coming your way, my dear. And you have been working with some interesting practices. It is not that I can't understand English. It's not that I can't understand English. Where is his email? Well, there is no he email. Are you talking about my email, my dear? You spell it the same as you do on the channel, and then at gmail.com. If it's easier for you, you can go back to one of my like tarot reading videos, and it's right under the description. I have Palo Santo and sage used it for cleansing, and I sleep with selenite. But if you got an attachment, my dear, where is his email? My email is what I just told you, baby. It's the same as the channel, just at gmail.com. But if you got an attachment, you always want to banish first and then cleanse. The reason that's how it is for me. I mean, maybe it's different for you. Like I always say, Every witch doesn't practice the same, right? So it's whatever you feel like works best for you. I can do more in depth, but like I said, it just depends on what you want. My body was in a stasis for almost 24 hours, and I managed to wake up outside on my roof, and I looked at the reflection of my window and thought my eyes were messing with me. They glowed. Violent blue mix. I mean, it's possible. I've had moments where, like, if it's been one of the most times that it first happened to me, as far as like eyes glowing, was when I was in school. And I freaked out somebody that wasn't into like any magical practice. He's like, "Why are your eyes glowing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I would like you to help me get a job." If you want spell work, my dear, I'm more than happy to help you, sweetie. All you got to do is just email me what you want and I'll give you my rate. Normally jobs, I don't really charge that high price for. It just depends on what's going on in your life that I got to work through. I don't want anything now. I feel like a stupid. Why do you feel stupid, babe? You should never feel stupid. I'm with Jesus, but I resonate with your energy. You can also use the Bible, sweetheart. I don't got it right offhand, but you can use the Bible like different prayers. I think Psalms is one of them you can use for like protection. I don't know what your path is in Christianity, but I know when my mom was alive, she would use, and it's like a family practice for us too, like olive oil has always been a thing. So I don't know if that's something that you use as protection as well, where you anoint like your doorways and stuff with it. That was something we always did, but we live like real close to Appalachian Mountains and stuff like that. Like we would use prayer cloths. My family would. Like my family had magical practices, but it was more of like Appalachian magic. I'm trying to make sure that I get all the sides equally covered. So if you see me moving back and forth, I do apologize. But normally, from what I know, I mean, not all of them resonates. Thank you. Not a problem, baby. That's what I'm here for. You like my mom, the way that she used to do it is she would get her preacher. She would ask them to, say a prayer over it for her, you know what I mean? Like when I was younger, they would use that old Appalachian magic with the Bible, and because I would have seizures. And my Uncle Chester, God rest his soul, every time I would have one and he was around, he would pull out the family prayer cloth, get the olive oil out, and do all that. Because I still think in part of their mind also that they still felt that, it was an entity causing this for me. Because I never was born with epilepsy. It just kind of happened. And then as I got older, it just went away. Sorry, I feel like I'm sharing a lot, but I feel like if I don't share that part, then it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But I always welcome other people in their past because, like I say, there's always something to learn. Eventually, I wonder. I mean, I know this is used for. I don't believe magic is bad. This woman really hurt me inside. I don't know how to explain it. Do you think that, like, I don't think this is going to work, but we're going to freaking try it. Give me a second. I'm trying to do something so I don't burn myself, but I don't know if it's going to work. But I'm hoping that it does work. but I don't think it's going to work. If you feel like, you could always, I don't know what your path is. I don't know if like you're Baptist or whatever, but normally, you can say a prayer and say it over your water to kind of like cleanse it off. And it just really depends on what method you want to go with and what feels comfortable for you in your path. I always say it like this: no one has power over you unless you give them that power. And if you think that spell work's been done against you in any form, then use your religion. I kind of see it like going to spiritual war. You know what I mean? Hey, Demetra, how we doing, baby? Right now, I'm kind of doing spell work, or at least prepping for tomorrow. See, this is what I got so far. Sorry, guys. Because this is going to go between the 7-day candles for the lady who I am helping out, and this is going to be a physical representation of her. So right now I got the herbs and all that, but we have reached the final end of that nim nim. By the way, save these. So if you ever have a candle that's like this and you're like, what do I do with it? Save it, remelt it, and put it into like a whole candle, you know what I mean? Because when we deal with pink, pink is about love and protection. So that's kind of like how I see it. Which this right here is perfect. And then once I get done, since this is a representation of her, I get to read the wax that fell off. See all this? Let me see if I can get it a little lighter. All of this right here, I'm going to read that too here in a minute. So that way I know what exactly is going on. Right. I love reading the wax. It's like right now, if you look right here, this individual is being blindsided. They're getting a lot of things coming and they don't know where it's coming from, which I already knew, but it just confirms it. And if you look right here, let me see if I can get this light on and it'll be a little bit better. But if you look right there, I don't know if we can get it up close or not and get the glare off of it. And to me, this looks like a Scorpio. So that means Scorpio's got their talons in them, which also makes sense. So if you see this, you know who you are and you know why I'm doing this. And then the other is just like things that are piling up. But it's like they're reaching for something, but they're so far away from it as well. And then what I got down here, it's looking like there's been a lot of hit and misses around their life lately. And they got some pile up of some negativity that they've pushed down way too much. But they do got good things coming into them for the near future. But see, the way that I do it is kind of like you have your north, your west, your east, your south, and whatever direction it lands, it kind of lets me know what's going on. Which the past is a bunch of clutter. Right now, there's some clutter that's going to go into the future for them. So we're going to clear out that path. Or at least that's the goal, right? So I'm going to put this over here for now. And since I've already read the wax, I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of it. Because whenever I do readings or anything like that, I like to take pictures of the things that I'm seeing. So that way I can show them once I do the spell work. And go like, this is what was going on. This is what we got. And there's a few. I got to do a tarot reading on this too. Because there's other energies that are coming in. If my phone will ever do what I want it to do. I don't know if anybody else has been dealing with technology issues, but it's been a real struggle. And I don't know why it's been doing this, but it's been doing it for days. Give me 1 second, my dears. And then I want to take a picture of it where it was. And I'm going to rotate it. It's a process, my dears. Anyway, anything you guys want to talk about, or please feel free to let me know. I'm going to clean off some of this wax now that I don't need it. But I'm going to try to do it without doing it with my knife. Just for the reason being, I'm not trying to scratch my new pan. But this one's the biggest pan that I got. So for me, it just seems smarter when I'm doing my, like, drying my herbs or anything like that. Do, 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 do. Which, by the way, if you guys got questions about anything or whatever, you can ask. Like, you're not distracting me by any means, because I've got my intent, my focus already handled and situated. Got the good vibes coming in, all that fun GS. Do, 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 do. Hubby, I don't know where he ran off to, but he's somewhere in this house. I think he's scared of the camera. I really do. It's not that you guys are bad people, because, you know, he talks highly about you, but he runs away a lot when the camera's on. It's like, I don't want to be part of it, which, you know, I respect that. Not everybody wants to be behind the camera, you know, or in front of the camera, not behind it. So this is going to be a lot easier than it would have been. You're welcome.
Okay.
And if you would be so kind to give me a little baggie, because I don't have any big jars right now to where I can put my herbs in perfectly.
Perfectly.
And I don't want to sit here for half an hour and cram herbs down, you know what I mean? I think I'm going to use these tomorrow when I do, actually, yeah. I want to use these for burning. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills, landslide on me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, and the child in my horizon. And I won't see. By the way, if you don't have one of these bad boys for your herbs, just put it in a baggie. Roll it with a rolling pin or whatever you got, you know what I mean? It's all about customization in there. Customization. Not customization, customization.
Okay.
And in practice.
Short version.
Pretty much. Oh, changing because I know my life around you. Time makes you bolder. All right, my dear. If you would, yes, will you be gracious and all that. Getting rid of the old to bring in the new. Also, another tip: always put down, what flowers and stuff, but I already know what these are and I'm burning them tomorrow, so it doesn't really matter for me. But future tip witch tip. All right, my lovelies. I'm going to jump off here for the night, but thank you guys for joining me. And I will see you guys Tuesday when we do our Terror Tuesday. Monday, look out for the garden update video. And then the following week, I'm going to end up having, like I said, the energy video where we kind of go more into it. If you guys need me, by any means, email me at thedivinewitch@gmail.com. Other than that, have a great weekend wherever you are in the world, and may you be filled with happiness and love.